Good morning and welcome back to the Nine Bowling Club in Lower Hutt, and specifically the Ryman Healthcare Arena for day 2 of the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals. We're now second session of day 2 and it is the men's triples final. We are underway and it is Lyle Bay, Simon Bennett, Pet Johnson and Jamie Morgan up against Tawa's Scott Johnson, Vasis Prasad and Kit Chu. I'm Brenton Vannisselroy alongside Barry Jordan, Bowls Wellington board member. Very good morning to you, Barry. Thank you very much for joining me in commentary.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
Looking forward to this game. I understand that all the Lyle Bay players are all still juniors, so to make it all the way to the Champion of Champions triples final is quite some achievement.
Oh, this will be huge for them. They had a very tight win on the game before, but this is as good as it comes for them, for a lot of these players. I mean, as I say, 4 or 5 years into it, so this will be probably the biggest pressure match they've been in their bowling careers, probably. So, yeah, good on them.
Yeah, I understand it went down to the final bowl and Tawa prevailing 13-12 over Plymouton. Lyle Bay were 18-14 victors over Upper Hutt in the 2 semi-finals this morning. Also have the women's triples final in action at the same time at Plymouton up against Nine and the men's singles semi-finals. And the women's singles semi-final, Steve Ditford of Petone Central up against Graham Ross from Whitby. Laurie Guy of Victoria up against Brent Ahern from Tatahi Bay. And in the women's singles semi-finals, it's Marlene Alberino Kay up against Liz Biss. It's Island Bay up against Whitby. And Robin Tuckett of Silverstream up against Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. Coming to the completion of the opening end of 18 in this men's triples final.
Yeah, nice tight head early on. These teams have been playing for this morning, so they'll get a good feel for the speed of the green, and already you're seeing a very tight head. And
yeah.
I think we'll still for the whole game.
Oh, beautiful bowl that was as well to finish the end. So great start there for Tawa. And there's Kit Chu, who we saw obviously yesterday in the fours final. Fours semi-final, wasn't it? For Tawa, now in the triples final. So great achievement from the Tawa club as well to go deep in the Champion of Champions tournament.
No, they've had a great tournament yesterday and today, so no, they'll be very, very pleased and very proud of their members. Very long head here, so they're almost end to end.
Yeah, going the pretty much full 36 metres. Looks like the mat's pretty much all the way back. Extra long green inside here, so not quite all the way back. It's probably a good 34 metres though this end. There was a 2 picked up on the opening end for Tawa. So 2-0. They lead Lyle Bay. First end of 18. Jamie Morgan, one of the 3 juniors in this Lyle Bay triple. Quite an achievement.
Great starter there from Jamie.
Kitchu, vastly experienced player. As we mentioned in commentary yesterday as well. Pretty much just always led.
I think he's won something like 20 club titles.
Yeah.
It's just, he's such a consistent player, and almost every year he wins 1 or 2 titles, so he's just a brilliantly consistent player.
It must be so handy to have that player always off the front as well. That reliable lead. Player who's not looking to, move up the side, and players are, 2 or 3, or players a skip. Just likes leading. Comfortable in his role off the front.
And it's such an important role in triples, to have the lead consistently getting in and around mat lengths from the jack.
Yeah, absolutely. That's number 2 for Tawa. This is Prasad. Playing on the backhand side. Looks to be on a pretty decent track.
It's
They come just inside those two bowls. Will. Almost coming straight back to that centre line as well. So just past the line stops, 2 metres from the ditch. Now Pet Johnson. Number 2 for Lyle Bay.
There's a bit more speed on this one.
Saw 5 different clubs, Barry, win titles yesterday, and I'm going to see another one here. And also in the women's triples final, either Plymouton or Nai. So it just shows their strength throughout the club game in Bowls Wellington region, which is fantastic.
And it's a wonderful tournament to have this finals weekend, and the pressure and the everything that comes with an event of this calibre. Really, it's just something that a lot of club players don't get to see that often. So.
Says Prasad was just short with his second. Now Pet Johnson. With Simon Bennett giving him the instruction.
He'll be looking just to come around the outside of that bowl at 2 o'clock if he can.
That's a pretty handy bowl. Unfortunate not to grab shot. Looks like this has been played in pretty good spirits as well. So there, this is Prasad, just with a little pat on the back to Pet Johnson, saying close but not quite close enough to take the shot off me.
And there's another good reason for this tournament. People know each other really well around the club scene, so there's a lot of great friendships that people can share on and off the green, and that's wonderful to have. Wonderful to see the sportsmanship of this tournament.
Good to see good crowd in as well. If you are in the area at a loose end today, make sure you get here to the Nai Bowling Club. We're indoors all day. Plenty of seating available, and you can watch some top quality bowls. Got the men's triples and final here, which is on our televised rank. Also the women's triples final, and it's men's and women's singles semi-finals taking place at the same time. Before this afternoon, it will be the women's pairs final and the women's and men's singles final. The women's pairs will have on our TV rank for you from 2:30 onwards.
So Simon changing his hand.
Interested in this one is Pet Johnson. Oh, he's just going to miss the jack. Very unfortunate. And then rocks away his old teammate's bowl. Very fair effort, that from Simon Bennett. Now Scott Johnson, Tawa's skip. He's going to follow this one down. Looks pretty handy.
Shot.
Oh, he did it on the previous end, and he's done it again.
Yeah, he had the line sorted out in his first one. He just needed to put on through 2 or 3 metres and did that very successfully.
It always looks good when you follow it down, and it's a good one as well. Otherwise, you almost want to turn around.
Oh, there's usually a bit of body language indication of how the bowl is.
Now Simon Bennett. Plenty of space on this forehand side. Yeah, it looks under. It's going to come under the line, unfortunately. Is it going to get a nice little rub? No. It's going to come on the outside of that Prasad bowl. Certainly one. Is it 2? Yeah, 2. And maybe even 3 here. Yeah, 3. And potentially a measure for 4. Big end for Tawa. Just the second end of 18 in this men's triples final. Quite close between these two bowls. Prasad doing the honours. 3 it is. Indicated there by Pet Johnson. 3 down for Lyle Bay. 3 for Tawa. So great start for Tawa in their pursuit of this men's triples title. 5-0 they lead Lyle Bay after 2 of the 18 ends.
really important. Lyle just the Bay settles down here. Just get a one, get the mat back. They don't need to score multiples at this stage. They just need to stay in the game.
Well, I suppose the one good thing about falling behind this much is it's still early.
Correct.
There's plenty of ends remaining, and I'm sure those helping out this young Lyle Bay triple will be telling that to the three of them. That there's plenty of time to get back into this contest, to try and get the mat back, get on the board, and then eat away at this deficit. Tawa will be looking to continue the way they have started. Two loose opening bowls from the two leads. Kitchu will be looking for a correction from his first.
He might have overcorrected.
Yeah, I think he is. Certainly looks narrow, doesn't it?
Jamie will look to keep his speed from his last bowl, just bring his line in a touch. It does swing a lot onto that ditch hand, so he doesn't need to adjust much, as long as he keeps his weight.
As he overcorrected as well. Pretty fair effort. He might get the jack here, and he does. Touch it. Still wide open for the number 2 versus Prasad for Tawa. Spray going on from Simon Bennett. Toucher from Jamie Morgan. Come with a couple of great bowls on that second end, Prasad. This time he's come under the line, a bit short too. End up right near that Kitchu bowl. So we've got a measure going on next door in the women's triples final.
The skips will be telling their team, take your green, take your green. You're not rewarded at all for going narrow. It really does slip past, so
This is Prasad changing hand. Slightly blocked up from that previous bowl. So moving over to the backhand side.
it's a handy line.
Yeah, looks decent. Very good track here. It's just going to slide by, but that will be shot. Well played for Sis Prasad.
So everything I said about the first end being a tight end, it's all gone out the window already.
Yeah, certainly a great first end this way, but playing for the second time to the road end at Ryman Healthcare Arena has not been quite so tidy. Pretty handy second bowls from number 2s, Prasad and Johnson, for Tawa and Lyle Bay respectively. Still a lot of room to work with for the two skips, Scott Johnson and Simon Bennett. Look at that Lyle Bay supporters crew. Look, fantastic.
They've all come in. Welcome to Nine. They've been hugely supportive in the semi, and they stayed on and cheering their team on. So it's great for the Lyle Bay club.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. If you've just joined us, all 3 Lyle Bay players, juniors. So in their first 5 years as bowlers.
I think Scott, we've been a bit ambitious with that line.
Yeah, it's not going to come out from there. There's a certain line, doesn't it? It just stays out there. If you're just outside the ideal line, it doesn't come back in. Otherwise, if you're inside that line, it comes back too much. And that's a great bowl. And And they're here, well received by the Lyle Bay support crew too.
And they're only about 5 metres away from the... so you'll get them all.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic to see them not only here, but all in the colours as well.
Yeah.
Organ update. So from rank 3 in the ladies triples final, 2 ends played. It's quite high scoring so far. Plymouton leading 9-eye, 3-2. Rank 4, the men's singles semi-final between Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay and Laurie Guy of Victoria. And it's 7-all in the race to 21. And rank 5, the men's singles semi-final between Steve Ditford of Tony Central and Graham Ross of Whitby. And it's Steve Ditford who has an 8-2 advantage. And there's 2 women's singles semi-finals as well. And on rank 6, it's Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay, who is leading Liz Biss of Whitby 4-1. And on rank 7, it is Robin Tuckett of Silverstream, who is leading Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley 4-3. Big thank you to our man providing all the updates. And I'm not sure, he's doing it all day or whether Blake's helping out again. Well, Blake was fired by all accounts. Great to see Brady Amer doing all the great score updates, and going to be busy out there today when you've got 5 other games in progress along with our TV match up here. So the wash up of that previous end though was another one to Tawa. So great start from them. 6-0 they lead Lyle Bay after 3 of the 18 ends.
Yeah, some deep breaths, I think, for Lyle Bay. Just to calm down and just put it on the head. Give the skip something to work with.
Interested in this one is Simon Bennett. It's just going to come under the line.
It's a very narrow corridor on that side. You're inside it or outside it, and you're quite a way off. So, Justin Kitt thinks that backhand side's more consistent for his draw, and he's not far away with his first.
Great bowl that from Kit Chu. And we just heard Simon Bennett saying to Jamie Morgan, "You want to change hand?" After seeing that bowl from Kit Chu, I was like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they're finding the ditch side. As I say, if you get the line, it's good, but if you narrowly miss it, you're not rewarded at all.
Yeah, we found that yesterday as well. This was certainly, playing this way was the side that most players preferred. Just a bit more consistency. Easier, as you say, to find that line. That's not a bad second bowl. Good correction from Jamie Morgan, changing hands. Now for Cease Prasad. Giving it plenty of green. Now it's making its way back to the centre line. It's a very good bowl.
That's a great bowl.
Already has one right on the jack. So one in behind. If there's any jack movement, very good place to be. And certainly applauded by Scott Johnson, his skip.
Peter will be looking just to beat that last bowl. Be over the jack. He's not far away.
He's pulled in his line slightly. This is looking on a very good track. And it's a touch-up. Just knocking the Kitchu bowl away. Yeah, as you hear from Scott Johnson, Tawa holding 3 now. Certainly Pete Johnson, I think, wins the award for best shoes on display the first couple of days of action.
A wardrobe of
That's a pretty good response. 2 down, I think the signal was from Simon Bennett. He's cut out 1.
Lyle Bay looking those bowls at 9 o'clock and 7 o'clock as a potential. You drag the jack across to that side.
Yeah, do you think you can use those bowls on the right hand side as a bit of a shoulder?
I think so. If you play with a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult, as I say. That's quite a big swinging hand. So you'd have to play with a bit of weight.
And Simon Bennett will just be hoping to add to the count. Maybe we'll try and get a bowl amongst those 2 bowls to the left there.
I think that's right, but he's
a bit narrow by the looks of things.
But he might end up in an annoying position.
Yeah.
Exactly right. He sort of blocked that shot now.
Yeah. Yeah, if Simon Bennett was thinking of that. It's pretty much gone now. It's a fair effort. Yeah, I think Vasis Prasad calling for Scott Johnson to try and bring one amongst those Lyle Bay bowls.
Yes, he can see the danger as well. But again, it's a bit short. Yeah, give him a target. If he swings inside that one with a similar weight, he could spring that jack out.
Yeah, that's certainly given him a little target. Yeah, as Pete Johnson is saying, this is all us over that side. If you can get any jack movement, it could be a big number for Lyle Bay. Playing with weight.
Doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't think he likes it. And he gets a bit of luck here. He doesn't. So I think that's 2 to Tawa. Indeed it is. 2 fingers go up from Vasis Prasad. And this has been a great start from this Tawa triple. 8-0. They now lead. I played only 4 ends. So no time to panic for Lyle Bay. Still early days. They just simply need to get on the board, get the mat and jack back and try and change things up and play potentially at a length that unsettles Tawa somewhat.
Yeah, it's really important for the Lyle Bay 1 and 2s to set something up for Simon this time around. Get a couple within mat length, preferably at or behind the jack. Give him something to work for.
Right, back to that centre line. Kitchu just about a metre short of the target. So Jamie Morgan will be looking to come in behind that. Nice and cosy.
Kit wasn't overly happy about that as it left his hand.
Yeah.
I think Pet will be talking in Jamie's ears and make sure you're up to and behind the jack.
Yeah.
Don't want to be short.
That's certainly what Kit wanted to do as well, but just overcooked it. Didn't want to go that deep. Unfortunately, this is going to be short.
Although it is short,
Yeah.
It's a good meter.
This is Prasad, who's a very consistent start to this final. The number 2 for Tawa. Big reason why they got such a big lead. This is going to maybe run into one of the short bowls here. It does. Finds both the Morgan and Chew bowl. Bit of a wall starting to form. About 1.5 metre out from the jack. So plenty of room to work with around, though, and through ports.
Still come home.
Yeah, this looks handy. And it will certainly be shot.
Exactly right.
Great bowl by Pitt Johnson. Beautifully played. That's what they needed. Perry as well. Put a bit of pressure now on Tawa. It's an important bowl for Prasad. It doesn't look like he's going to get around unless he finds the gap. He's not going to.
Yeah, Pitt will be looking to do exactly the same again. Give Simon something to build ahead from, but he certainly wants to be up on or over the jack. Yeah, 2 good bowls, very good.
Yeah, certainly will be happy with that, Simon Bennett. As he makes his way to the mat now, the Lyle Bay skip. Something to work with. Holding shot, and if there is any jack movement, there's a great little catcher there.
He's got to be looking at 2 options, whether he disturbs that front 3 to come through, or probably more likely to draw a second. Make sure, minimise if there is going to be damage, just drop 1. Tawa's target at the moment, if they're going to drop numbers, just drop 1.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly
drop
right.
numbers.
He was interested for a moment, and I think he realised the touch heavy.
Pitt likes this.
Yeah, likes this again. Oh, wonderful bowl. Rocking the shot bowl. So certainly a couple. Just what Lyle Bay need. Can Tawa's skip Scott Johnson change this year with his final bowl? No. Overcorrection, wasn't it? This time didn't have the weight.
It's an important bowl here. He can pick up 3. He's shown he can draw it, so he needs to do it again.
Yeah, just repeat when he did previous bowl. Down on 1 now. I think he's apologised. Not happy with this one, but doesn't look bad. Hasn't got the weight. Yeah, it's cheered on by Pitt Johnson.
Maybe those flash shoes got a match.
Yeah. Wonderful bowl. 2 great bowls from the skip, Simon Bennett. And just checking if it is indeed 3. 3 it is. Confirmed by the 2 number 2s, Pitt Johnson for Lyle Bay and Vasis Prasad for Tawa. So they're on the board, Lyle Bay, on the board in a good way. 3 shots picked up on the 5th end. So it's now Tawa 8 leading Lyle Bay 3 after 5 of the 18 ends. And this men's triples final.
That'll settle Lyle Bay's nerves a little bit. They can start to breathe again. And now it's really important this end. They just draw, even just pick up 1 is good, just to consolidate that score.
And they've finally got the mat and the jack back as well. Something to change up. Ross Gillett from Bowls Wellington's done some fantastic player profiles as well. If you tuned in to the coverage yesterday, you would have heard us talking about all these players. Great player profiles have been compiled. As I mentioned, all three Lyle Bay players, junior bowlers. Jamie Morgan, the lead here for Lyle Bay, just in his second year. Incredible. He got involved in bowls when he followed his dad's bowls journey and playing in the Melbourne Cup Gala in Wainoia-Mata, combined with linking up with his close friend Sean Chait, Simon Bennett and Pet Johnson, who helped me make the jump from a social member. Hasn't, of course, played for any other clubs, just Lyle Bay. And this, of course, would be his first centre title, and what would be quite an achievement in his second year. And so he won the Melbourne Cup Gala at Wainoia-Mata with Sean, Pet and Simon.
Great shot, Jamie.
In his first year of bowling. He recently played in a whānau team as well at the Māori Nationals, which he enjoyed as a great experience. He played with his brother, who just joined as a first-year bowler, playing with his dad as well. It's fantastic. So he comes from a pretty strong bowling pedigree as well. His dad, Richard Morgan's the current president of the Wainoia-Mata Bowling Club. Of course, who picked up a title yesterday to Wainoia-Mata and the men's peers. So we'll tell you a bit about all the players that we do cover throughout the day. A big thanks to Ross Gillett from Bowls Wellington for putting that all together for us. See Sue Wade's taken over your job there, Barry.
No, happy to hand over the camera. Although I think I prefer to do what Sue's doing than what I'm doing now.
Talk us a bit about that. Have you always done photography? Has it always been a passion of yours?
Yeah, I've been a photographer for a long time.
Yeah.
Not a professional one, but
yeah.
And about 3 years ago, I was taking photographs for Wilton, and the Mark Cameron from Bowls New Zealand asked me to step in and take photographs of Bowls New Zealand. So, yeah, my number one love, apart from my family, of course, is photography. Slip that one in.
Glad you did.
Bowls is number
Good
two.
save.
Bowls is number 2, so I can do 1 and 2. And it's just a great opportunity for me to travel around the country and take photographs of the Bowls community, not only the players, but everyone around the players as well. And I really enjoy photographing people and expressions and the emotions, and there are only so many action shots you can do for delivery shots.
Yes.
So there's a lot more that goes on around bowls that fills up my camera, and it's just great fun to be. And I get to watch some of the great players around the country as well.
Yeah.
I think Lyle Bay are holding 1. It's difficult to see from that angle.
Yeah, as we find multiple times, the camera angle can be quite deceiving.
And that might give them 2.
Putting a bit of pressure on his opposite now. Played a couple of great bowls previously in Simon Bennett. Now Scott Johnson needing to respond for Tawa.
He's got plenty to sit on, and they'll be disappointed because he can be up to the head and sit on those bowls. And so being short, you wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah, that bowl just seemed to hang out there as well.
Pet's putting those magic shoes in the right spot.
Certainly taking the bowl shoe game to another level. Matching socks as well. Love it. Very good effort. Don't know if it's changed the count or not. Says Prasad taking a good hard look at this, and Scott Johnson's coming down to have a little look too before he plays his final bowl.
They'll be talking about options, whether they go hard through it or sit on that sort of mini wall that's to the left of the jack. Seems to me the percentage shot would just be draw into that group. But Bissett is sort of indicating with his finger that, you know, drag it through, makes him change the head. They look like they're indicating if they hit it about where the foot is, they'll all spring apart, leaving their bowls there. I think that's the thinking at the moment, that they're considering what that option is.
A long discussion here.
If they are 3 down, they don't want to drop a 3. That'll be 8-6, and that's a completely different ballgame. Their advantage would be gone.
Yeah, you think there's still space to draw. It's slightly surprising they're going with the lower percentage, what would usually be considered the lower percentage play. Because you'd think you'd back your skip to get a good second at least here. There is room.
His first one was on the all right line.
Yeah.
He just lacked weight. So
Exactly.
we'll see pretty early how he lines up and sets up for what he's going to play. Drawing.
Yeah, looks like it. After all that. Looks like he's playing with more reaching weight though. Is he? It's in the area.
Not far away.
Pretty good bowl.
I think he's either taken it or reduced it.
Yeah. I think it might just be one to Tawa, potentially, or to Lyle Bay, excuse me. And a measure though.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Very good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether they were discussing the weighted bowl or not, they certainly made what seemed like the smarter call, and it is indeed one to Lyle Bay. So good final bowl that from Simon Bennett. I think they were down a good 3 on the head, so to cut it to 1. It's good work from the Tawa skip. 4 shots between the two sides now. Lyle Bay scoring back-to-back ends, a 3 and a 1. It's now 8-4. We've played 6 of the 18 ends, a third of the way through this men's triples final. We have the women's triples final taking place alongside us as well. That's Plymouton and the home club Nine Eye. No doubt have some great support here as well. And men's singles and women's singles semi-finals also taking place. And Brady Amer will keep us up to date with all those contests too. Looks like it's going to come back to the centre line, but well short. Kitchu will be hoping to return to the way he started this contest. Put the pressure back on Lyle Bay.
Better speed.
Right on cue from Kitchu. Simon Bennett saying to his lead, Jamie Morgan, just another metre and a half of weight on your first one. It'll be right in the area. See if he can make the adjustment, Jamie Morgan. Hands on hips suggests not quite.
Kittle would just be looking to sort of halve the distance between his deck and his last bowl. And it looks like he's on track to do it.
Yeah, just very fine adjustment from his first. So good bowls from the Tawa lead. Still space for Pitt Johnson though. Tawa's number 2 to work into.
Simon will be talking to them. We need to have them up and over that jack.
Yeah, all 3 bowls so far from Lyle Bay. Short. 2 bowls from Tawa. And behind the jack. And effective bowls, unfortunately, for Lyle Bay. First 3.
Next bowl from Pitt is really important.
To give Simon Bennett something to work with, isn't it?
Otherwise they're going to drop out.
Because it's another good bowl from Vasis Prasad. All Tawa at the moment on this 7th end. As good as a toucher. The jack now obstructed from our viewpoint. You'll be able to see it clearly from the mat. Big bowl this, as Barry Jordan mentioned, for Pitt Johnson. Right on cue. Thank you very much, Brady. We'll just see how this bowl turns up and then give you an update from the other rinks. And that is a good bowl. Good response. Needed to have something in the area. Good pressure bowl from Pitt Johnson. Alongside us on rink 3, it's the women's triples final. Plymouton, after 5 ends, now leading 9-eye 7-3. Rink 4, the men's singles semi-final between Brent Ahern and Laurie Guy. That's Tahi Bay against Victoria. It's now Brent Ahern leading 14-9 in the race to 21. In the semi-final on rink 5, it is now Steve Ditford of Petone Central who is leading Graham Ross of Whitby 13-6 in the race to 21. Rink 6, the ladies singles semi-final. It is tightened up in that one. Just one shot between them. That's Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay, who is leading Liz Biss of Whitby 8-7. On rink 7, just a shot between these two as well. It's Robin Tuckett of Silverstream leading Nicole Toomey 7-6. And that brings you up to date with the other games in progress. Thank you very much, Brady, for them.
Good work, Brady.
Giving us up to date with the other games in progress. 5 of them alongside our TV rink here. The men's triples final. Always looks like he's winding up for a drive to Simon Bennett. Just his style. Oh, that's a great effort. Gets a toucher on the jack. Unfortunately, only just moves the jack. Stays right next to the Tawa bowl of Vasis Prasad. Great effort, though, from Lyle Bay skip.
And given him options for his last bowl now, he can do different things he couldn't do before.
Jack's not as protected as it was. That's a fair effort too from Scott Johnson. Just slides through.
Better be looking at different options. There's a corridor in there that he's trying to weave his way through to rest that bowl out. Just slightly obscured. And no, that's not the corridor.
Sees Prasad calling his skip Scott Johnson down to the head. Take a look. Is it close for second or third?
Holding 1, they're looking at other options, how they can increase.
Without damaging what they've got.
again, they're looking at those back bowls as potential conversion bowls for them.
There's the Kitchu bowls. Doesn't need much of a touch on the jack to move it back to those. He wasn't far away with the last. Bring the line out just slightly. There's a chance of picking up the jack. Maybe pull back his weight just a touch. Looks on a pretty decent track. How's the weight? Yeah, it's short, unfortunately. Not going to change. So Tawa do get the jack and the mat back though. Kitchu quick to collect it, take it to where he wants it. So 1 to Tawa. 9-4 they now lead after 7 of the 18 ends. Yeah, perfect with his presenting of the jack there. Simon Bennett just moving it a couple of centimetres.
Could be disappointed he didn't quite get the line. Yeah, great starting bowl from Kit. Right on the centre line. Probably a mat length behind.
I told you a bit about Kitchu yesterday. Lead for Tawa. That's lead of the 4 as well. Been playing bowl since 1998. Started at the Johnsonville Bowling Club. It's the previous club he's played for. He played because of his wife, who was already a bowler. 7 club titles. And the thing that stood out from his profile was the most memorable moment was when he made 7 wrong bias on the first day he played in the junior pairs, and they still won.
That would have cleaned out his wallet.
Ultimate Golder winner centre title, and made a good start here to doing that. Enjoys cooking as well, outside of his love for bowls. Good 25 years playing the sport, and very reliable lead. The opposite end of the spectrum to Jamie Morgan. Very much just starting out his bowls career, but showing great promise already. Looks narrow.
These teams, a lot of them still have the black bowls, which is a bit rare now. It's a kaleidoscope of colours out there, and you have to look very carefully to know who's whose. That's a great bowl.
Yeah, applauded by Simon Bennett. Great bowl from Pete Johnson.
Scott will be saying to Facade, you can get around there. That's your target line, just to skim the outside of that last bowl to get into the head.
I think he's just waiting for something happening next door in the women's triples final, between Plummerton and Nine. Before he got his sight set on the mat.
No, I wouldn't be pleased with that at all. The hand's really blocked up now.
And right on cue, Simon Bennett saying to Pet Johnson, come around this way. That hand's a bit blocked up. That's not the right weight.
So 2/3 of the bowls are short, so you've only got 2 behind. Nothing makes a skip more grumpy than all these short bowls, as I've discovered as a lead.
Yeah, Simon Bennett will be the slightly cheerier of the two, though, making his way to the mat, knowing that he's holding.
Often as a lead, if you're doing short, you just don't want to make eye contact with your skip as you're walking up there.
Just sneak off to the bathroom or something as he changes over.
Yeah, it's a good time to fill up the water bottle or something. Working hard.
It's a good effort. Unfortunately, just moving that Tawa bowl close to the jack.
Down, you think you said it?
He's interested here, but under the line. Doesn't have the weight to reach either. Won't be happy.
Peter will be looking at that wall and finding where's the line
Yeah.
through. And he's going to stick with that side, I think. Stick with the back end.
Yeah, on the forehand side, they could push in a couple of Tawa bowls. So the head, you don't want to do that.
Trying hard.
Urging it on. Don't think it's quite had enough to change the situation. One certainly taken away. Says Prasad not quite willing to give the second.
No, I saw the eye.
There was a little bit of a wink, wasn't there? Oh, I just want to measure this one, young man. It is indeed two.
Yeah, there's gamesmanship there.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. Fair enough, too.
Even we could see it was 2 from here.
So just 3 shots between them now. It was 8-0, so good fight back from Lyle Bay. As we mentioned, it was still early days, so there's no need for them to panic.
So the next 3 ends, they'll be focusing, okay, just 1 or 2 end. If they can end, but get to end 12, sort of ahead by 1 or within 1, they'll be their interim target before they set up for the run home. Just got to break the game up into mini portions. And as you said before, don't get too far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, credit to them for a young trio. There didn't seem to be any panic early or concern when they fell 8-0 behind. They've built their way back, 6-1 run since. Good start from Jamie Morgan.
Yeah, that simple step of covering the jack, it does change a lot in terms when you're on the mat, in terms of you can't see the jack. And it makes it very difficult to get your length right.
Yes. Yeah, because from the mat you got really no idea how far that bowl is from the jack.
And kit's been consistently up or over the head, and you can see that one he was short. So Jamie will look to get him in behind, put another metre on it if he can. Which he looks like he's done.
Urging it on is Simon Bennett. 2 good bowls from the Lyle Bay lead. Jamie Morgan.
And Jamie's settling into his work now well. I think every one of Kit's deliveries looks like he's upset with them.
Yeah.
No matter where it ends up.
Yeah, I've learnt that it's just what he does. That's a very handy bowl, Kit shoot. I think it's still 2 to Lyle Bay, but if there's any jack movement, it's a very good home.
It's a bit ambitious. Out there from Pet.
Yeah. As you're hearing from Simon Bennett, perfect weight. Just as we've mentioned, if you start it too wide of the ideal line, it just doesn't come back. It just hangs out there. So it just needs to make the adjust, pull in that line. Weight was good. Try and replicate that. Now if sees Prasad trying to change the situation, he's not far away. Might get a rub off the... Oh, very unfortunate not to get the rub off that front bowl and trail to the jack. Looks to be a bit of an overcorrection here. Here's, I think you heard from Simon Bennett, might end up counting. So wasn't what he was trying to do. It turned out to be an effective bowl. Sees Prasad was not far away with his first.
Started a lot wider. Now he's coming back well.
Urging it on. Is it trying to get round this time? It doesn't quite get round that front bowl. 2 pretty handy bowls by Tawa's number 2, but it doesn't get any reward for them. Not far away with either. Need something here. Scott Johnson.
I think they're down 3, so you want to get into that mix of those group if you can. Over.
Almost going to use that previous Simon Bennett bowl. That's what we're trying to do with his last. Scott Johnson.
Again, it's hanging on that right.
Yeah. Doesn't come back from there. Just a touch on the wide side.
It's going to run out of steam, I think.
Yeah. It's a fair effort. Now, how many is it to Lyle Bay? I think I heard 3. Indeed it is. So we're all tied up midway through this men's triples final. And Lyle Bay, who trailed 8-0 early, now tied up at 9 apiece after 9. All the 9s. And this men's triples final between Lyle Bay and Tawa.
The Lyle Bay club a little bit happier than when we last saw a shot of them.
Yeah, it should be smiles all round, really. Great to see them supporting their club mates, Simon Bennett, Pet Johnson and Jamie Morgan.
Starter for Jamie. He's really setting
Oh,
into his
lovely.
weight
Little toucher there. Yeah, great last end from him. And delivering again on the 10th.
Jamie doesn't think he can get round it, which I think he certainly can.
Yeah, he's asking for a bit of a guide as to how short the tube bowl was. See if he can get around it. He certainly can.
Yeah, I think from the mat he thought it was right in his line, but clearly it isn't. Yeah, it's a good reply. Well done.
Yeah, very good bowls from the Lyle Bay lead.
Kid will be looking to get one close. He don't want. Next 2 ends are very important for that run home. They want to get someone will get the nose in front.
He doesn't want to be short here. He's not going to be. Right back to that centre line. Pet Johnson, number 2 for Lyle Bay. So he's in his 4th year as a bowler. As I mentioned, all 3 juniors started in the 2019-20 season at the Lyle Bay Bowling Club. One of his best friends introduced into the game of bowls 5 years ago was social member, and he was convinced to enter the Island Bay Melbourne Cup Gala, as we heard about before with Jamie Morgan. They all had a blast, and he's been hooked ever since. Great to hear. Club titles, won the triples 21-22, junior singles 20-21 and 21-22. Representative appearances in juniors and development reps as well. As far as most memorable moments and bowls go, far too many to list in the past 4 years, but the most recent memorable moment would be playing in the 2023 Aotearoa Māori Bowls Nationals in Christchurch with Jamie Morgan and his whānau team, which included 3 juniors, a first year, a second year, and himself, the most experienced, his 4th year. Played and performed well above expectations against amazingly skilled and experienced bowlers, losing only 2 of the 8 games, including an unforgettable win against the Tamaki Makoto team that had rep players and had won the tournament multiple times. Obviously had a blast at the Aotearoa Māori Bowls Nationals.
Pet's a full-time DJ as well, so I imagine it would have been a good trip.
Yeah, he says hobbies or interests outside of bowls. He loves music. He studied classical guitar at the New Zealand School of Music at Victoria University. He played in bands all his life. He's a full-time DJ, performing in bars and clubs around Wellington 4 nights a week. Also owns a DJ agency and has 35 DJs currently on his roster. Wow.
Don't know how he fits time to the bowls.
It's incredible. Thank you, Brady. As the score update comes in from the other rinks as well. Provide you that very shortly. But thanks to Ross Gillett for all the great work he's done with those player profiles as well, getting to know a bit more about these players. This is Prasad, the number 2 for Tawa, now playing. Alongside us on rink 3, it's the women's triples final. Plymouton getting a bit of a lead now after 8 ends. It's 10-4 Plymouton leading 9i. And rink 4, the men's singles semi-final. It's now Brent Ahern of Lyle Bay, who's leading Laurie Guy of Victoria at 16-11. First at 21, of course. And the other men's singles semi-final. That's tightened right up. Steve Ditford of Petone Central now leading Graham Ross of Whitby 14-13. And the first to 21. There's 2 women's singles semi-finals taking place as well. Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay now leading Liz Biss 17-7. Last update we gave you was 8-7, so that's 9 shots in a row for Marlene. And on rink 7, the other women's singles semi-final, it's now Nicole Toomey, who has created a bit of a lead as well. 7 shots in a row for her. She now leads 14-6. Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley up against Robin Tuckett of Silverstream. Thank you, Brady, for the score updates from the other games taking place here at the Ryman Healthcare Arena at the 9i Bowling Club. Second session of day 2 of these Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals.
Scott was liking that port at 11 o'clock, playing through with about a metre of weight. Seemed to disturb the head, bring the jack through.
Yeah, playing with that weight, following this one down.
He's interested. It was a better shot than that. He really wasn't rewarded for it. It was exactly the right weight and the line.
Yeah, he's unfortunate. Knocked away one of the Lyle Bay bowls, but not the one he wanted to. He'll get a bit of the jack. He'll get another go though. Doesn't have to change much.
I think by Pet's shoes is indicating that's where the jack will squirt if it is contact, so he's looking to cover that zone.
Oh, very happy with that bowl then.
Vizette thinks there's still that shot on, so he's still playing it again and still interested.
Oh, he's just going to swing by. Very nearly got a touch on that Prasad bowl and moved it into the head. That couple. More to Lyle Bay. No, just the one. Just the one to Lyle Bay. So 10-9 it is now. After 10 of the 18 ends. Great comeback from this young trio, who were down 8-0 early, if you have just joined us recently. Tawa out to an 8-0 advantage. After I think it was 4 ends.
Lyle Bay have won the last 4 of the last 5 ends, so momentum with them at the moment.
Yeah, 10-1 run since. Kitchu will be looking to change things here off the front for Tawa. Asking too much there. So off range, both leads with their first. Be thankful they get a second bowl.
Yeah, it would be an untidy game if you only had one. Great adjustment there from Jamie Gordon.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Now Kit had the speed last time. He just needs to bring his line in very slightly on the end, not as much. Often players overcompensate.
Well, Jamie Morgan clearly wasn't worried about his first bowl. Quickly put that out of his mind and delivered with his second. Kit Chu looking to do likewise. And he's not far away either. Look at this. What bowls that is. What a camera angle that is too. Hard to tell who has shot.
Yeah, that's why he allowed 2 shots.
Another good bowl coming in there from Pete Johnson. Who are you favouring?
I think Jamie's first one still got it.
Yeah. Certainly looks like that from our angle, doesn't it?
Maybe looking to get to about 4 or 5 o'clock, because clearly any contact with the jack is going to squirt out onto that zone. If the front bowl comes, someone plays weight through to that front bowl. Better be looking to leave it about 7 o'clock if he can, behind the jack, probably a metre behind. And he's not going to, he's narrow.
Yeah, one to turn his back on.
Scott making it pretty clear he wants bowls over the head so he can set himself up for some shots when he takes the mat. Yeah, that's a good bowl. That could set up a...
That's shot. Right where you... Yeah, that jack could spurt out too. So well executed.
Yeah, Scott will be looking at options on how he converts. Correspondingly, Simon will be looking where does he protect or does he build the head?
And that's assuming
Yeah,
that we don't know who's holding here. Yeah, almost the way there. Looks like maybe Tawa's holding. And Lyle Bay's talking about. He's obviously don't have a camera angle coming from the other side to be able to tell how much space there is behind the jack and the other.
Need to get Colin out there with a portable camera.
Yeah, we need the player cam. But we should have an idea of how this is played. Yeah, I'm leaning towards thinking that Tawa's holding here.
Certainly looking to make contact with that weight.
And knowing they've got the back bowl down here just at the feet there of Lyle Bay players.
And he's looking to protect, so you may be right. He's looking to protect that same spot that...
trying to get there, isn't he?
Get there first, yeah.
Oh. Oops. Now what's that done?
One up low.
Yeah. Still incredibly close. But I don't think that's what Scott Johnson was trying to do there.
No.
I'll be disappointed. I think they were holding shot. Now down. Lyle Bay holding now. Completely changes what Simon Bennett will do now.
Yeah, he's looking to fill that spot that I mentioned the other end when I thought they were up. But yeah, he's certainly looking to protect get to his feet.
And Scott Johnson's following Simon Bennett down to the head. Wants to take a look, see what the picture is before he does play his last.
Looks like the play might be different now. It's just slight contact. Sit and stay, I think they're looking to.
Long walk back to the mat for Scott Johnson. Having assessed what the picture is at the head. Now can he execute? Grab it back for Tawa. Might be able to tell from the body language of Assis Prasad if he's on target. And he's not. Umpire to check. Indeed that is. One to Lyle Bay.
Lyle Bay favour themselves, I suspect, but
Tawa just want to make sure.
he might have to empty the bag of his gear for this one.
And it's very close. And these really fine margins as well. You got to make sure there's no movement of the jack as he's doing there.
That bowl there is on a bit of a lean. So
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's why that's been replaced there, to make sure there's no movement. Celebration going on, or could that perhaps be for Nine Eye in the women's triples final alongside? Well, Calipers coming out to try and decide this one. Ooh.
As a player, it's very difficult to judge when one's lying flat like that.
Yes, yeah.
And the other one's on its edge.
Just coming back to make sure, I think it is that, yeah. That, from memory, was the Lyle Bay Bowl. So it should be another one to Lyle Bay. Indeed it is. 11-9. They now lead Tawa. We've played it 11 of the 18 ends in this men's triples final here at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals weekend at the Nine Eye Bowling Club. Indoors again here at the Ryman Healthcare Arena. It's great we're able to do that. Today hasn't really cleared up as much as it was supposed to as well. So the call was made yesterday to play indoors again to give all the players some certainty. And we have a result in one of the semi-finals on Rink 4, the men's singles semi-finals. And that has gone the way of Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay. He has beaten Laurie Guy of Victoria 21-11 in the men's singles semi-final. So he'll be playing in the final later this afternoon from around 2:30, Brent Ahern. And we'll face the winner of the other semi-final between Steve Ditford of Batoni Central and Graham Ross of Whitby. Last update we had was Steve Ditford, I think, with a slender advantage from memory. But we'll keep you up to date with those scores and those results as they come. We have the women's triples final alongside us between Plymouton and Nainai, and also women's singles semi-finals as well taking place. But one of the games, 6 games on this green has been completed. That going the way of Brent Ahern of Lyle Bay. Another good bowl from Lyle Bay's lead, Jamie Morgan.
And Jamie's getting into his work nicely now.
Certainly is. Far away here, Kitchu. Ah, beautiful. Touch up. Trails Jack back. Pretty sure that's his bowl as well. Deep one, is it? Or is that the...
I thought that was Jamie's first bowl.
So it might still be Lyle Bay holding shot. A great bowl from Kitchu.
Simon likes this track.
Cease Prasad, number 2 for Tawa, playing bowls since 1997 at the Tawa Bowling Club. Previously played also for the Tawa Services Bowling Club. Got introduced to the sport through his brother. He's won club triples 3 of the last 4 years, including of course this year, getting to this tournament, Champion of Champion Triples. Again, thank you to Ross Gillett for providing these player profiles. Yeah, Ross in fact played with Cease Prasad and they won the 2020. Well pointed out, thank you Barry, seeing that there. They won the 2020 Tawa Club Triples.
An important end for Tawa. They don't want to drop another 1 or 2. It starts to get hard for them, particularly if they're going to need to, like in the early ends where they had the momentum, they need to arrest it back now.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's been all Lyle Bay. Just need to get that mat back and keep it for a couple of ends. Because this young Lyle Bay triple certainly got a spring in their step now. Another result, this time from the women's singles on rink 6. That has gone the way of Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay, who has beaten Liz Biss 21-8 in that women's singles semi-final. So Alberino Kay through to the final this afternoon, where she awaits the winner of the other semi-final between Robin Tuckett of Silverstream and Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. So one of the men's finalists found, women's finalists found now too. So 2 semi-finals remaining here at the Champion of Champions finals weekend. And these 2 finals which are ongoing. Men's triples here on our TV rank, and alongside us the women's triples between Plymouton and Nainai as well. grimace there from Scott Johnson. Suggests he didn't like it out of the hand.
He's disappointed.
Two taken out. Three. So, good in for Tawa. Kitchu's got the mat back. What they needed to try and wrest the momentum back after 11-1 run to Lyle Bay. After Tawa, it's an early 8-0 advantage. So, Tawa reclaim the lead. 12-11. Still very tight. All to play for over these final 6 ends now. Tawa with the 1-shot advantage. Kitchu back with the mat and the jack.
We'd be very pleased with that. That's a great end for them. Kid will be looking to consolidate that. Good, get some nice tight bowls at or over the jack.
And a little gesture there from Scott Johnson you might have seen, and slow it down, bring the pace back a bit to his lead. Kitchu, Scott Johnson. Now Jamie Morgan.
Relatively short end. The mat's up at least 3 paces, so they all have to adjust quickly.
Jamie Morgan, the first of the leads to make that adjustment. Good second bowl from Kitchu.
Great adjustment.
Unfortunate to run into his first one. As you can see, with a shorter length end, a lot tighter line required. Scott Johnson's interested. He was on a good track, just need a bit of extra weight.
Lyle Bay, look, holding 2. They won't want to load up that side, so he's looking to cover the other side.
Yeah, want something in behind. Steering clear of the bowls on the backhand side. So coming on the forehand is Pete Johnson.
Counting.
Will do. So not what Tawa wanted after getting the jack and the mat back. That straight away Lyle Bay dictating terms on the length that they chose. I'd be happy with that. Well, Scott Johnson, a couple of bowls short from his number 2, Vasees Prasad.
Peter will be looking to put sort of a metre on his last speed, keep the same line. probably is counting.
Yeah, could be a counter, I was going to say as well. So all the work for Scott Johnson to do as he makes his way to the mat.
Yeah,
And it's all smiles for Simon Bennett.
Yeah, the look on Scott's face is sort of tells a story in itself.
One good thing is that he knows there's plenty of room. Just not able to execute. Another short bowl. Won't be happy with that.
Pete's just saying, draw, beat that one at 5 o'clock, you're a score. It'll be his target.
Looking good if this holds up.
Great.
It doesn't, unfortunately. Great effort.
This is a big bowl.
Huge bowl, isn't it? Well, it could be a good 3 or 4 here potentially to Lyle Bay if he doesn't execute here. Looks narrow.
Narrow and short.
Yeah, turns his back on it, Scott Johnson. Not at all what he wanted.
Potentially can convert here for 5.
Changing hand. Going to play that foot of Pet Johnson.
If he can hit those magic shoes, he's in for 5, I think. No.
He's going to be short. Now let's see how many this is. Four. Signal there by Pet Johnson. So after Tawa, pick up a 3 on the previous end. Lyle Bay bounce straight back with a 4. Claim that advantage. Go up by 3. 15-12. And we've now played 13 of the 18 ends. I mentioned it, but certainly not what Tawa wanted after getting the jack and the mat back. And they'll want to forget. It wasn't like Lyle Bay were all over the jack. There's plenty of space there, just ineffective bowls from Tawa, not the right time.
And I do hope that Lyle Bay don't regret not getting that 5th shot on that last end. There was miles of place to draw. Jamie's very comfortable at this length now. He's got his iron now. And playing well, really playing well.
Oh, it's fantastic for a second-year bowler. Very impressive stuff. A big future in the game. Acknowledged by number 2, Pet Johnson, as well. Another update. So from the women's triples final alongside us on rink 3, Plymouton now with a 9-shot advantage after 12 of the 18 ends. They lead 9-eye 14-5. And the remaining men's singles semi-final, just 3 shots in it. Steve Ditford, though, just 2 shots away from Tony Central bowler, leading 19-16 over Graham Ross of Whitby. And the remaining women's singles semi-final on rink 7. Nicole Toomey is just a couple shots away with a 19-9 lead over Robin Tuckett of Silverstream. Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. Thank you very much, Brady, for the update from the other 3 games in progress on the screen here at Ryman Healthcare Arena.
Lyle Bay holding 1. Make that 2.
Yep. Needs something here, Scott Johnson. From his number 2, Vasis Prasad. Not a bad bowl. Getting jack movement. Wasn't far away with his first pet, Johnson. And near perfect with his second.
Yeah, I wonder whether they try something different.
Yeah.
They do need to change that head. Tawa get a couple here, they'll leap away and it'll be hard to call back.
Yeah. Only 3-shot advantage. Don't want to drop another number here, Tawa. So playing with weight Vasis Prasad. Is he going to get a bit of luck? Oh, he does get a bit of luck. It's often the way, isn't it? Even if you're off target, you play with weight. And get a bit of fortune off the wide bowl. Cannons off the previous bowl of Pete Johnson. Gets that out of the head. Still, you'd think holding 2 here. Lyle Bay, but it's opened it up. Good crowd in attendance. If you're at a loose end and you're enjoying the coverage but like to come and watch, make sure you get here. Still another session to play. Get underway from around 2:30. We'll have the men's and women's singles finals here and also the women's pairs final. So plenty of top quality bowls still to come in our final session of this Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals weekend.
Scott's considering his options as to what he does. By the way, he's indicating he still wants to play through the head, make contact on that front bowl of Jamie's.
He'll get another go. Oh no, he just needs to make a slight adjustment in his line. Looks on a better line, doesn't it? did when we could see it.
When it disappeared.
Oh, very good effort. I think that's cut it to 1.
I think that's right. Not sure that was the plan, but it's worked out all right.
Says Prasad. Give it a bit of a measure just to make sure. There's indeed 1. So cut down a couple, made it, would have been 2, potentially even 3. So good final bowl from Scott Johnson. If he couldn't grab the shot, at least cut it to 1. So 4 in it now. 16-12. Lyle Bay leading Tawa. Men's triples final here at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals.
Deep breaths from Lyle Bay now. Ends in sight. We just need to if they get 1 or 2 on this end, it'll make it very hard for Tawa.
They've seemingly kept pretty level-headed throughout, isn't they?
They have.
They haven't looked down at any time, and if you've joined us late, they were down 8-0 early. Tawa made a very fast start. Lyle Bay responded, didn't panic. And their heads never dropped.
And Jamie in particular, as he's settled into his work, he's been the catalyst for the change in that team.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when the lead's performing well off the front, as second-year bowler Jamie Morgan has. And we've had another result in one of the semi-finals in the singles, in the women's singles semi-final, and that's Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley, who has beaten Robin Tuckett of Silverstream 21-19. That means Nicole Toomey will be taking on Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay in the final later this afternoon, and the women's singles decider. Congratulations to Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley. Island Bay looking to get in on the action. Their near neighbours Lyle Bay as well, looking for a centre title here.
Wonder if they'll move over to this rink and cheer them on for the way home.
So the one single semi-final still going is Steve Ditford of Tony Central and Graham Ross of Whitby. Brent Hearn awaits in the men's singles final. The Tahi Bay bowler has beaten Laurie Guy of Victoria 21-11 earlier. Women's triples final between Plimerton and Nainai still ongoing. Last report, Plimerton quite a healthy lead.
Lyle Bay holding 1. It's on a good track.
Is a touch more weight of the second.
So to be looking to reach the head.
He wasn't far off with his first, just a touch more weight. Doesn't want to run into the wide bowls, which he is, unfortunately, but got a nice, favourable touch off on the wide bowls and moved towards the head.
Lyle Bay expecting weight into the head. Hence Pet saying if he does that, where's the jack going to go? And he's indicated it's by his feet. Wants to cover that.
Oh, their bowls otherwise are on the other side, aren't they? So want something over there if there is jack movement inside of the green.
So Lyle Bay at the moment, they'll be just happy to pick up ones. They don't need multiples, but they're also looking to cover the alternative. They don't want to drop multiples. So that's a great bowl.
Yeah, and pretty much exactly where that foot of Pet Johnson's was. Those great shoes. Yeah, scoreboard is their friend. They're going to use that, put pressure. Here comes the drive from Scott Johnson. Oh, and unfortunate for him, but they may have shot now. Yeah, I think the finger's gone up because that's rested off the Tawa bowl.
I think the eyes say it all.
Yeah. He's like, that jack shouldn't have gone there. It should have gone right to where my previous bowl was. But got directed the other way. Got the outside of the jack rather than getting the jack clean and taking it to that bowl of Simon Bennett's to the right. Grey speckled bowl.
Tawa holding 2.
Potentially. That is a Kitchu bowl as well, next to the Vasis Prasad bowl. Situation now completely changing. Meeting of the minds. Little 3 Lyle Bay players involved.
Shows how the game of bowls, the head can completely change 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Again, before they were quite comfortable, they were controlling the head, and all of a sudden, completely the way around, they're looking to now change it again.
Yeah, just one bowl. Now playing with weight, Simon Bennett. He's in the area. Interested is Pet Johnson. He rocked away one of their bowls. Unfortunately, didn't disturb the 2 of Tawa's.
Great opportunity for Tawa if they can.
Yeah, I think that's what Vasis Prasad's saying. Let's try and get a number here. Chance potentially. We're pretty sure they're holding the 2. Can he draw in for another one, or even bring one of their short bowls into their head? Disappointed with himself here, Scott Johnson. But 2 to Tawa. Tightens up once more. There's 2 shots in it. Now 3 ends to play. 16-14 Lyle Bay leading Tawa. And this the men's triples final at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals weekend. This is day 2. Had a great day yesterday. 5 different clubs winning centre titles. And Lyle Bay or Tawa trying to join them here. Alongside there you can see the women's triples final. It's 15-8, Plymouton leading 9-9. There's 4 ends to play in theirs. So in behind us on the TV rink. We have another result, this time in the men's singles. Well, quite a comeback from Graham Whitby. He was down 19-16 against Steve Ditfit of Petone Central, and he has won 21-19. So Graham Whitby will play Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay in the men's singles final this afternoon. And just confirmation of that score as well in the women's triples final. Plymouton leading 9-9, 15-8 after 14 of the 18 ends. Big thank you to Brady Amer for providing all these score updates and results for us. So we have the singles finalists found now. Great bowl by Kitchu for Tawa. So in the women's singles final will be Nicole Toomey of Stokes Valley taking on Marlene Alberino Kay of Island Bay. And in the men's singles final will be Graham Ross of Whitby, playing Brent Ahern of Titahi Bay in the men's singles final. Both of those starting around 2:30 this afternoon. So if you're from either of those clubs, come on down. If you're just neutral, chance to watch some great bowls here at the Ryman Healthcare Arena. Got the women's pairs final as well this afternoon. The 2 finals currently in action right now. Here our men's triples final and the women's triples final on the rink alongside.
Simon's asking Pete to play up to Kit's last shot bowl.
Well, both our finals that we had yesterday pretty much went down to the last bowl. So could we be going that way again?
It's got that feeling.
It does, doesn't it? Tawa can score here, or even chance to level the game going into the penultimate end.
Peter will be looking just to scoot on the outside of that bowl at 1 o'clock. And rest against Kits.
Yeah, he's come a bit narrow, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see exactly what he was trying to do. Still going to be on for Simon Bennett. Skip for Lyle Bay. He'll hang about at the head though. Wait and see what Scott Johnson plays first.
Yeah, Scott will be looking to block up that channel if he can to protect that bowl.
It's looking a bit lonely there.
It is looking a bit lonely.
Feather on the Cease Prasad bowl, and that might be good enough for second, you know.
Pete's not giving us any negation.
No.
Better line.
Yeah, certainly on the wider side this time, and come around that Shorter bowl. It's a very good effort. Going to come right back to that centre line. Simon Bennett. Indication there of 2, I think.
It was a tentative 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't either being coy or not confident. I'm not sure which.
This time going to come under. Urging it on.
It limits the shots now available to Simon.
Wasn't far away with his first. Just needs to pull back the weight slightly. Looks on a good track here now. Urging it on is Pete Johnson. Oh, it's a good second.
That's a great shot.
So there's no doubt about it. It's certainly just the one. Oh, and the big exhale there. It's getting tight at the moment. We've seen how cool, calm, and collected the Lyle Bay trio have been. Just a bit there showing how tense this is now getting as we reach the last couple of ends for the skip of Lyle Bay. That was a good bowl, though. Cut it to 1. And now just one shot between these two sides and just 2 ends to play. Lyle Bay 16, Tawa 15.
It is amazing at this stage of a game. You forget to breathe, and it's really important for your teammates. Just take deep breaths and get some oxygen into your lungs. And it's a game about thinking, and you really want that air in there.
It's funny, while that was happening, his teammates Jamie Morgan and Pete Johnson were laughing and having a bit of a joke, so obviously a bit more relaxed than their skip at that stage.
I think that was a relief, actually.
Nervous chuckle, you reckon?
I think they didn't want to drop 2 or 3 at that end. Dropping 1 was a good result for them.
Okay, Chill, just one in behind here.
His consistent grimace every time he delivers the ball. It's good or bad. You don't know with his bowl where it's going to end up from his face.
Yeah, it comes right back to the centre line. Pretty much bang on what you want from a skip.
His skip would be happy with that.
Yeah, skip very happy with his work of his lead. Kit Chew. Jamie Morgan being very impressive. Second year bowler. Very consistent off the front. Simon Bennett not unhappy with that.
No, the leads have done well. They've done their job. Looked a bit tentative out of his hand, but it's finishing well. Very well.
Yeah, great bowl from Vaseez Prasad. There'll be a couple for Tawa. Tawa won by just 1 shot earlier today in their semi-final. Went down to the wire this morning, 13-12 over Plymoughton. Lyle Bay beat Upper Hutt 18-14. Semi-finals first thing this morning. To get to this stage, the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions finals. Simon Bennett just saying to Pete Johnson, make sure you're up. Got the right weight to get behind the head. Just want another short one, and he's done just that, Pete Johnson. Good second bowl.
Tawa's still holding 2.
It's funny, Scott Johnson's facial expressions looks pretty much the same as well, whether they're 8-0 up or whether they just, Lyle Bay went on that 11-1 run, I think it was. They've got a pretty even keel as well.
Scott looks a little bit disappointed. I think he hit the line.
Simon Bennett, 4th-year bowler. Just joined us late. All of these Lyle Bay players, juniors.
Close.
Very good bowl. Now, is that Tawa bowl going to fall out? Still holding one, said Persis Prasad for Tawa. And in the 4s a couple of times, singles a couple of times, and the triples at Lyle Bay already. Simon Bennett in just his 4th year. Most memorable moment in bowls, being part of the Lyle Bay men's interclub Div 1 team that won promotion back into the Premier Division this season. It was a real thrill to be a part of. He says he's got lots of memorable bowls moments though. And outside of bowls, he's a doctor of clinical psychology and works as an academic and lecturer at Massey University. Also has a bit of a side hustle brewing beer.
And his wife's overseas, the High Commissioner of South Africa.
Wow. Real high-flying family, aren't they? Yeah. His wife Emma, currently the New Zealand High Commissioner of South Africa, been posted there since the beginning of 2022, and he'll be joining his wife Emma in June for the last 6 months of her posting before returning to New Zealand in January next year. Well, January 2023 actually, so that's maybe already happened. But yeah, very much a high achiever, Simon Bennett.
Shake of the head from Scott, so something's happened. Maybe he thinks he's given it away.
Pet wants to have a measure as well. Yeah, 1 to Tawa. So, winner takes all final end, just like we had in the women's fours final yesterday. We'll have in the men's triples final today. We are all tied up, 16 apiece, playing the 18th and final end. And the skip for Tawa, Scott Johnson, has been playing bowls since 2006 when he was year 9 at Tawa College. Started very young and then joined the Tawa Bowling Club in 2008. Got involved through his popper, Keith Johnson. His brother's Michael Johnson and Bev Lindsay at Tawa College. That's how he got involved. Club titles, I'd say there's probably about 15 club titles there. Too many to count as they get to a certain number. His ultimate goal in bowls is to achieve a Wellington Centre title. And he has a great opportunity here. Just saving a wayward bowl from the women's triples final from getting involved there. His most memorable moment in bowls is winning 3 club championships in the 2016 season, attending secondary schools nationals and Kitty Hawk as well. So part of that program was the skip for Tawa, Scott Johnson, who's seen the lead for Lyle Bay, Jamie Morgan. With a great start this final end.
Yeah, so the track Scott's come into bowling is exactly what we as Wellington, Bowls Wellington, looking to put more effort in, bring Brady on through the help of Nagora to develop that stream again. The Kitty Hawks system and the college system. Brady's achieving a heck of a lot in that space, and is doing a terrific job. But again, there's so much potential in that area for us, for school age children to come into bowls, but not only school age children, anyone from around. We're promoting as all we can to make sure bowls is accessible to communities and clubs and people of all types, gender, ethnicities, disabilities. It's a great sport.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the sport. All shapes and sizes. Doesn't matter what your athletic ability is. You've been good at bowls. And that is 2 very fine bowls. It's a great way for him to finish off. He's done his job, Jamie Morgan. The second-year bowler for Lyle Bay. He'll lead.
Yeah, he walked off screen and gave himself a pat on the head. I think he's done all he can now.
Yeah, it's up to you, he says, Pet Johnson and Simon Bennett. Well, the thing that both skips will be happy about is there's nothing short. One Kitchu bowl just to the right of the jack, almost jack level. Otherwise, everything is beyond the jack.
Simon Barnett's asking Pet to use that one on the 3 o'clock as a wing bowl, come in off that. Yeah, not a bad home either.
Yeah, very good effort.
Scott Johnson saying we've got to change the head, we've got to get that one off somehow, otherwise we can't win it with it sitting there.
Oh, we have a result in the women's triples final next door as well. Congratulations to Plymouton. They have won the women's triples title here at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions triples. Look at that! What a bowl that is from Vasis Prasad. Number 2 for Tawa, when it was most needed too. Lyle Bay in control. And Vasis Prasad takes it back for Tawa. So Plymouton winning 18-9. Decided to shake hands after 16 ends, I think it was. Plymouton beating Nainai in the women's triples final. So they join all our winners from yesterday on day 1 of this Champion of Champions finals weekend. Big congratulations to the Plymouton Bowling Club. Now, who will join them in the men's triples? Will it be Lyle Bay or Tawa? You get the feeling this is going to come down to the very last bowl. Vasis Prasad grabbing the shot for Tawa. He's done his job wonderfully well. Now it's up to the skips. Scott Johnson wants to have a bit of a chat with Vasis Prasad about what he's going to do before he does make his way back to the mat. You can understand because it's all coming down to these last couple of bowls. You can understand why they're taking a bit longer.
Lyle Bay have last shot, so...
Yes. How important could that be? We saw in the women's fours final how important the last bowl could be.
talking about all the options and scenarios in terms of what could happen. Looks like they're looking to cover that point over Seth Prasad's feet. They see that if there's contact on that head where the shot is, the jack's probably going to squirt back. Sunshine coming out.
Yeah, this happened yesterday. Looks like we could be playing outside now. Come on, Colin, you can move all the gear out for the final session.
If looks could kill.
Yeah,
You'd be pleased with that. So Simon Bennett's got to play up to the head. He cannot be short. He'll be looking to make contact with either the shot bowl or the jack. It's awfully wide.
another chat between Prasad and Johnson, the two and skip for Tawa, for Scott Johnson. It's a lonely walk back to the mat. Simon Bennett has joined his Lyle Bay teammates and Pete Johnson and Jamie Morgan to find out what he needs to do after this bowl. Final bowl for Scott Johnson of this men's triples final. By the looks of it, that's where he wanted it. You know, he thinks of his jack movement, wanted deep bowl, assuming that bowl is in play. Still, didn't go into the ditch.
Pete Johnson and Simon Bennett just looking, what can they do? Favouring the backhand with weight. Good on him. Whatever happens, happens. Be confident.
Yep. Whatever decision you want to make, just back yourself. Yeah, it's great from Pete Johnson. Going around, shake hands, just wishing them all the best. See what this final bowl does.
It's great sportsmanship.
Tawa holding. Can Simon Bennett take it back in Lyle Bay's favour? Final bowl of this men's triples final. Well, it looks close. Oh, what a bowl. Where's it going to end up? No, it ends up near Tawa. What a bowl that was from Simon Bennett. Unfortunately for this young Lyle Bay triple, it doesn't go their way. The jack tracks its way back to another Tawa bowl. And a big congratulations to the Tawa trio of Kit Chu, Vasis Prasad and Scott Johnson. They are centre winners. They have won the men's triples here at the Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Finals. They got out to an early 8-0 advantage. Lyle Bay came right back at them and led by a few. Tawa, though, chasing them down and winning on the 18th and final end. Another cracking final, Barry Jordan.
A cracking final, cracking last shot. Simon Bennett did everything was asked from his team. That jack could have gone anywhere. So congratulations, Tawa. Brilliant result and brilliant game.
Absolutely. The experience of Tawa eventually getting them through. But this young Lyle Bay trio have got quite a future in this sport. What a final they played. Certainly adding to the occasion. So that's the second session done on day 2 of this Ryman Healthcare Champion of Champions Triples. We'll be back not too distant future. We're bringing you the women's pairs final and also covering the men's and women's singles. I'm Brenton Van Nistelrooy saying big thank you to Barry Jordan for joining me in commentary, and we'll see you soon.
What is the measure of a full life? Is it seizing the day? Appreciating the little things? Family, joy, love, no regrets. At Ryman, we believe a full life is one that gets richer with age, with communities that challenge the expectations of aging and bring joy and meaning to every moment.